Good morning, retail traders. I'm Washboardjim with a Sneaky Snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. It's 28 degrees here in Springfield, Missouri, and we're going to get to talk about this coming week's earnings watch list. Last week and the week before, I think we had a little bit of news activity bringing down the market on some pretty good dips. So I'm going to still be careful this week. Try not to swing too much and be more or less a scalper in case more of that news comes out about the tariffs. So, it's a risky time to be in the market right now, but dip buying has been the theme. Until that doesn't work, then we'll definitely start looking at lower supports. Let's go ahead and look at this is going to be this coming week's earnings watch list. We got McDonald's on here. We got Shopify. I'm just going to point out the ones that I think the main ones are, then I'm going to go through a couple others. So we got McDonald's, Shop, Coca-Cola, Humana, Upstart. I think I need to add Upstart to the list. I missed that one. LYFT. We've got Dash on here. GILD, or whatever that is, GILD. CVS is on here. We've got Biogen on here. Crafts and Heinz, I guess I left that one out. I might want to look at it. We definitely got Reddit. That's going to be a good one. And Robinhood. CSCO, Datadog, John Deere. Might look at Crocs too. See where that is. So let me see which ones I got to add. I got to add Crocs, Upstart, Coinbase, TWLO, DraftKings on here. Applied Materials might be another good one to watch. With all this here reconstruction we're going to be doing. AMAT. We got Airbnb, Roku, Win, and then Moderna. So let's get to it. Sneaky Snake trading strategy. So we're going to look at the SPX first. Now, SPX has been on a good uptrend for a good long period, and we've had a couple pullbacks on it. We had 3 black crows and then a nice little run up here. We had a double bottom off the 21. We bounced up. We bounced off the 9, and we bounced off the 21. So right now the 21's been the support level for the SPX. So if we do decide to pull back, I think we can come back and hit that 21 and start to bring this stock back up. So I'm going to put a price line all the way across that 21 EMA on the weekly time frame, somewhere right around 588.797. A little bit below it, a little bit above it, somewhere in that vicinity. But we need to hold 5,968, $5,968. So we go to this, take this to the daily. In the daily, we had like a descending triangle. We're still holding that 21 on the daily, but if we could come back and have a real strong buy on the triple bottom down here on the bottom of this here descending triangle. Descending triangle is bearish, and we are at an Elliott wave right now. We're up and down, up and down. We had a big gap down here. Then we bounced up, same thing here. We started the week back down here again, and we could start the week back down here again for the third time, and that'd be a triple bottom. And then I think we could run it back up and break this resistance level. But always keep in mind about that tariff news. That's the only thing that could bring a good crash in the market, at least in your stocks, for a buying opportunity. And he is going to come out and speak about it. I think it might be this week. But he let the world know last Friday. So see if we can hold this here bottom at 5, 9, 6, 8, 10. If not, we could dip on down to that 21 on the weekly time frame. That's the SPX. Now the SPY, I trade the SPY and the SPX together. I got it kind of set up like this, to where I have my SPX over here and my SPY here with the VWAP, and I can monitor them two trades by seeing where the VWAP is on that 1 minute time frame, if we're going to break it or not, or if we're going to stay bearish like we did Friday. We come up and hit the VWAP, it never did break it, and we pulled back down for some puts. And it was a bearish day, but I did okay. I mean, I could have done a lot better. I had these puts at the very top, and I sold them just minutes before the crash came, and I mean, it just hurt. It really threw me off for the rest of the day because I missed out on a lot of money right there. But I had the puts. God is my witness. So we're going to clean this SPY chart up, just clear it out so we can see what we got going on here. And we're going to take this to the weekly. It's kind of about the same kind of setup, but a little bit more of a bullish flag. And let's, what am I doing? Going to the weekly. So we are getting close to that 21. Now we did bounce off of it before, and we bounced off of it here. We had a little dip on that come Monday or Tuesday morning. So, I mean, this thing, if we hold at 586.84, I think we'll be okay to run this back up. If not, she'll dip down here to a double bottom, and we got 3 different support levels on the weekly. One of them being right here on the body of that candle at 579.77, then the other one right there at 576. And that'd be your low, and then we got this tweezer bottom down here that could be your low support at 571.18. Now on the daily, and resistance to break, it's going to be 597.60 on the top of this here body of this candle. 597.60. Now I've been reading charts for a very long time, 20 years, so I know what repetition is, and I can look at a chart and see if it's bullish or not. And I can look at special places in the chart where I think it's a hard resistance or not, or something that needs to break, because I've seen over 1.5 million charts in my 20-year span. I'm a chartist. I mean, I'm a technical analysis. I'm not a fundamental trader by any means at all. I don't even look at fundamentals. As long as I know they've got cash, that's all I need to know. And volume. I'm a price action trader. So I'm technical is my way to go. So now we're going to take this to the daily. And same thing here. We got the 63. We're at the 21 on the SPY on the daily. So we held that 21. We could easily come down and finish this. This is a bull flag. You got that, and it got a bull flag with a 1, 2, and a 3. Maybe come back down and bounce off that 21 for a solid buy. So I'm going to put for this coming week, I'm going to put a price line right there at 593.70, and I'm going to change that color to let me know that I got to keep a good eye on that price line. And then I'll go back and I'll look at the daily and at the weekly and see where we are. But this is a bull flag. And I'll draw that in for you. Right there's your bull flag. So it can easily come down and rest at 590. That's about a $10 dip this week and be a very strong buy back up to the upside and break this here channel. Now, we did break the double top on the yearly. Right here, you can see it from where we were right here. And that's going to be our resistance to break this week. And I'll put a price line right there. On the bodies of that candle right there. 607.87. If we break 607.87, we can run this up to a double top, triple top, and try to break the new highs. But just got to be very cautious because we are getting into some volatility. Each one of these candles represent a day. And if we do have a nice little pullback, I think we can bounce up and swing this trade to the upside. So back to the watch list. This is set up as volume high. And we're going to go with Hood for the first one here. And Hood is, well, look at that. I mean, that's probably an all-time high right there. Let's go back 3 years. Yeah, it's kind of scary in a way. We do have earnings coming out, and I think a lot of this has to do with the way Bitcoin has run up. And plus, it's a retail trader's dream to be able to trade off this platform. I don't trade off of it. I have one, but I don't trade off of it. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, support level this coming week is going to be $52 to hold. Let's get rid of this here. Let's get rid of all of them. We'll go back to 52 right here. That's going to be your solid support this week. If not, she'll pull back at 48. But this has had a real good run, so you got to take that in mind. I mean, we bounced from 38 up to 56 in a matter of a month. So we could consolidate and pull back and be a strong buy. If we break out of resistance, your next one would be right up at about $60. Go with them $5 bills. If that decides to break out and go ahead and go on up. But man, that's one heck of a run. $7.90 all the way up to $56 in a matter of a year and a couple months. Yeah, I'd be a little bit caught shy with this one here. It's had too big of a run. I think it's going to pull back some off earnings. But if they're good, people will run with it. It definitely looks very, overextended. We got Cisco. Cisco 2 broke an all-time weekly high up here last week. The low support's going to be off the 9. It's been respecting the 9 EMA. So that's where you got to kind of put that support level at. Let's clear this chart up. Let's put the support level right here at $60. And then you got a pivot point right around 61.38 with a resistance to break right around 62.27. Let's bring this to the daily. Yeah, I can't argue with that. That looks beautiful. If we hold that 9, that's where we want to go ahead and probably take this trade unless it pulls back. But that 9 is going to be your support level. It's respected the 21 mostly all the way up. So your next support level could be at right around $60, 60.75, somewhere in that area. That's off the 21 EMA. Next one's LYFT. Now LYFT has had a pullback. I like, got Uber and LYFT. The fat cats like Uber. We got to break the main. We broke the main resistance here at the 200 SMA, and we're bounced off the 200 EMA. And I think to stay bullish, we need to hold 1411 off the 63 EMA. Resistance to break will be right where we are right now. I think, yeah, that's a solid resistance. I'll show you why. You got that wick pulled back right here. So if we can break that, we can run this stock up to, well, that ain't much. I don't know if I'd want to keep this in my watch list or not. Probably not. Just not much price action on it. So let's go to KO. KO has to break the 200 EMA off the daily, and that's where your resistance is going to be. What do we got here? Had technical malfunction. That's going to be your pivot point right around 64.20 off the 200 EMA. If that breaks, you can run this up to 65 and hit that 200 SMA. If she pulls back, it's going to be right here, right around the 21. EMA at 62.78. Still stay bullish in that trade. So we're at a pivot point right now. That pivot point's right at 64.20. If that can break, then you'll have a higher high up here to the 200 SMA. KO. Wow, KO got off the list here somewhere. I'm going to put it back on. Then we got Moderna. Ooh, man, nasty. Moderna's nasty. Oh, boy. We could probably have a bounce up off this Moderna and hit that 63 right around 43.85 long. But it has to pass the 9 and respect the 9 to do that. If you can pass the 9, which is right around 36 bucks, she should go higher for sure. And I'm using my moving averages as resistance level. If you can't tell, that's the way I trade. I find it to be very, very helpful. And I've got them set up pretty good to where I like them. And we got the 9, the 21, and the 63 EMA all as resistance levels in this trade. And that runs into a little gap right there. So hard resistance right around 37.97. And if we break that, she should be able to run on up to 43.85 this week. Coin, I'd keep a good eye out on coin right now. I think coin could be a good bounce. Let's clear this here chart level. Right now we're bouncing off the 63. If we can hold that 63, that's a pivot point again. Another pivot point. If we can hold above that, we're into resistance land. If we go below it, we could drop down here to a triple bottom at 246 and be a very strong buy and run it back up. For right now, we got to hold that 63 EMA and break the 9 and probably get up in here in the gap. So your next resistance would be right around 282. If we can break 282, we'll go higher. That's coin. I've got high hopes on coin this week, so keep a good watch out on it. We got GILD. We hit an all-time high, the yearly high last week. We have pulled back some. We could get one more crow and dip on down, but for right now, I think the support level is going to be right around 94.41 off this here old resistance line. We finally broke that resistance and it ran up. So 94.41 will be your support to stay bullish, and resistance to break will be the gap fill right there at 96.63. If we can break that, we could go higher to the next level and generate a high right around 97.84 and bounce up to a double top on the yearly time frame. So definitely, if it doesn't hold 94.41, it's a good possibility we can bounce off to 63 and be a strong buy back to the upside at 92. We got DraftKings here. DraftKings, we have a little channel. We pulled back to that channel. I'm going to extend this on out to the right. And we're holding up the pivot point in that channel. So if that doesn't hold, we'll easily drop down to 40 bucks. 40.36. If that doesn't hold, we'll easily drop down to the 200 at 38.87. Resistance to break right around 42.94. That's DraftKings. It should be doing good this week with the Super Bowl, but that's tomorrow. So resistance to break 42.94 to go higher. That'd be a triple top break. Airbnb, this was one of my favorite trades years ago. I really loved this stock, but it didn't form out the way I thought it would. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity if you own houses like in Hawaii or somewhere that's a rentable place and you could use it as an Airbnb. But I expected a lot more out of this company, and it's had some real good runs, and right now we're in a bull flag. So I'm going to say resistance level on this one here is going to be the 200 again. Right there, that's what the fat cats will be looking at. Let's clean this up. That 200 SMA, it's a choppy stock. It's hard to judge. But we've got a falling wedge here. Not much of one. But if we can break these 200, the 200 EMA and SMA, we could run this stock back up to 140. If not, she'll pull back to a low support of 127.56 and stay bullish. I kind of like it, but we got to get past that 200 to run it up, and got to respect that 200 SMA. Next one's Shop. Now this one here is a good one. It's run up. This has been kind of choppy. The 21 right now is going to be your support at 113.49. If that holds, you stay bullish. If not, she drips down to 108. Resistance to break this coming week, you got to be 119.62, his previous high we had right here. That quad top breakout. That's going to be Hood. And we got Reddick. Another great run on this stock. This was my me stock of the year last year, and you could tell that it did run real good. And you know, it can go higher. 240 would be your next resistance. If it holds support and stays bullish, 208.55. So this could be a good dip buy. If it pulls back and hits around 208, 209, 210, I think you could run this back up. Or we dip down and hit that 21. It's done it before, over and over and over and over. But to stay bullish, 208.55. Strong buy at 194.75. That's going to be Reddit. D-Dog, Datadog. As long as we hold the 21, we stay bullish. If not, we'll dip down here to a double bottom, triple bottom at 136, 137 to hold. With the resistance to break, 147.81. MGM, here's one that's been beat up pretty bad. It's failed its attempt trying to break the 63. So 35.16 is your resistance. Support to stay bullish, 34.76. Then we got a solid buy down here. Well, it's really not that much of a difference. I'd rather see it pull back to 33 if we're going to be bearish, 33.40. But then it could always come back down here to 32. I'm not too much in love with this chart right now, but if we break the 35.21, the 63 EMA, we'll fill this up and get up here to this other resistance level. It'd be worth a good buck to run up. I'm iffy on this one here, but you never know. We could break out. Earnings are good. Roku's had a good run. We definitely have resistance to break at 86.10 with a solid support to stay bullish right around 80.75, 80.15 with a strong buy down here at 78 bucks. Dash. Ooh, look at Dash. Dash is ready for a pullback. This has had a good run. I think we could easily see 185 on this stock and be a strong buy. A stronger buy would be down here at 180. But if we hold 191, the 200, the 9 EMA, we could run up and double top and try to break a double top resistance, triple top resistance at 197. I'd like to see a pullback. We got a shooting star right here. It could easily pull back and hit that 9. McDonald's. I can't stand McDonald's. I don't like the CEO. I'd like to see this thing pull back to the 200. Resistance to break this week. If you like McDonald's, 194.70 with a 197 double top. And if that breaks, you could easily run this back up to 300. Personally, I don't like McDonald's. I'm a little biased with them. McDonald's came out and bashed half its clientele, and I say, screw you. If you're a conservative, they don't like you. So 289.79 will be your support. I vow I'll never eat there ever again. Win. We got a double bottom on Win. I think this could bounce up to the upside. Try to break the 9. Then have a hard resistance here in the gap right around 86.30. If we can break that, we can start running up and breaking these moving averages. For right now, I like this double bottom. I like it a lot. Inverse head and shoulders. This could easily bounce back up. This would be on top of my list. Win. TWLO, wow. This is another one that's had a great run. So if earnings are bad, 35.84 for a double bottom, triple bottom there. Pivot point right around 142.58 with a resistance to break right around 149.150. 149.81. Somewhere in that area. But it's had a good run. Earnings were good last time, and they were better the time before. So, yeah, I mean, this has had a good run. Almost too good. I'd like to see it pull back for a strong buy at 135. But I don't know if you'll get it. For right now, your pivot point's at 142.58. Then we got Marriott. There's another one that had a great run. And we got an inverted hammer down here that could pull back. So the previous high will now become support at 293.05. And we're going to take this down to a different time frame, to the 1 hour, and raise it up, raise that support level up just a little bit to 294.52, 300. Supports stay bullish. 303.34 with resistance to break at 306.8. Kind of a good run on this one here already. I'd expect it to pull back a little bit. $300 will be your strong buy. If it holds for a scalp day trade, I don't know if I'd want to swing it. Then you got John Deere. John Deere's had a good run also. Let's go to the weekly. Let's erase all this garbage. We had a nice little breakout here. Looks like it already had earnings. Did I see John Deere on that watch list? I'm sure I had Deere on here. There it is. Thursday morning. Wonder if that's a misprint. Well, no, it's not a misprint. I'm going to say support for deer to stay bullish, 446.48. If we can get one more candle down, I think we could start swinging this to the upside. But I'm going to go ahead and go with 446.48. And resistance to break will be the double top up here right around 480.10. And if we can bust past 446.16, we could break that and hit that 480 and be an exit idea. We got some good spreads in here. If it does pull back to 446, I think that'll be a very good buy. Then the ones we're going to add is Crocs. Crocs has had a pullback. I think there's a lot better shoes out there than Crocs. Really been in competition has been the shooting market, the Hokas and the on-ons. I wear Brooks. I just think they're very comfortable. Support level right around 86.48 with resistance to break right around 97.52. The next one is Upstart. Upstart's under the 200 right now. So this thing can pull back and hit the 200 EMA and be a strong buy right around 51.85 and hold. If not, if she breaks the 200 at 68.71, we could run this up to the top, resistance bar of 81 to 87. So keep a good eye on Upstart this week. And then we got AMAT. I got his pivot point area on AMAT at 167.60. We'll see if we can hold that 167.68, and Drake resistance would be right around the 63 at 182.90. And if that can break, we'll have a double top up here at 195.11. So definitely we got to hold 168.68. 167.68 or a double, or down here a little bit lower, 163.66 to stay in the channel, and that's a bull flag. But I'm not really that bullish on this one here, but I'll check it out. I'll definitely be watching it close. If we can pull down here and hit this channel, I might run it back up. So 163.66 for your low support to hold, and resistance to break will be the double top at 195.11. Well, that's it for the sneaky snake trading strategy. I'm going to say be very diligent when you're taking your trades, because all it would take is just a small little headline about tariffs and the market's going to tank a little bit on you. But they've all bounced back up. Friday it did not, because there were more worldwide tariffs, and we have been taken advantage of real bad. We pay for wars. I mean, we're going bankrupt, and we got to fix it. We got to fix it, or we're just going to be worthless. Our money's no good no more. We got to build that dollar strength up, and Trump's going to be working with the feds, trying to get the lower interest rates lowered for the lower class and the poor people that are stuck on credit cards and want to buy homes. All it does is benefit the rich, and we got to get them interest rates down. They've been up too long. This has been going on way too long. The last administration spent way too much money, $14 trillion, not counting unfunded liabilities. So it's a mess. It's a mess. And we just got to go ahead and work on that. And we got to get the fentanyl and the human trafficking down to a minimum. It's been blown up here in the last 4 years. A lot of people have died, over 100,000 a year with fentanyl. So they're going to be cracking down on all the drug lords. And I just think it's going to be a great thing. It's going to benefit America in the long run. We've got to stop these wars. We might even rebuild Gaza, keep it safe for the Palestinians. Just tell them, they're going to have to leave. We'll put them up, and then we'll come in there and bulldoze everything down and clean it up for them to come back and reconstruct. But if we don't do that, it's still just going to be a mess, no matter what you think about, no matter what we do. So we got to go in there and rebuild. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. If we can bring peace to the Middle East, it'll be one of the best things that could ever happen. Instead of paying for wars and last 4 years of hate, we can take care of that too. So I wish everybody a great week. Be careful, like I said, be cautious. The only thing that I'm worried about is the tariff news, and I'm going to be a buying opportunity for me when I'm trading them stocks. It's a sneaky snake trading strategy where I talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. Today I wore a red tie day. Red tie. Private eye. Over and out.